music. Like anytime somebody came to Redvox and was like, "Oh, can I use your song in a movie or like even a student project or whatever?" Vinny would be like, "Yeah, of course, yeah, we want people to hear our fucking music. That's why we make music." You know, and all of this just seems so fucking counterintuitive to that, right?
Well, maybe a good way to find people to hear your music is to ship it off to Honey.
Yeah.
Oh, Bee Vomit. Tell me more about Bee Vomit. Why are you talking about Bee Vomit?
Because it doesn't cast of air. We can
broke the curse.
Can continue. Yeah, I'm free. I'm liberated.
Yes.
I can stand in the sun without disintegrating. Yeah.
You want to talk about Fred's balls more? You got to be careful
Not necessarily.
with that though, because he and I, we were doing a stream together and we were making some light homoerotic jokes. And somebody wrote a fanfic. As you do.
Oh, they shipped you.
They shipped us, yeah. So it was like, but we think it was ironic, or we hope. We're pretty sure it was.
It's not ironic. It's not ironic.
Well,
It's not
listen.
ironic.
So it was like a paragraph long, and they have us like sitting on a couch together, like making out or whatever. And then halfway through it, the person writing it forgot his name and started calling him Frank. so now, like in my Twitch channel, like we just call him Frank now, like Frank Knudsen. So he is now.
Yeah, been there. There. There have been so many like, especially Tumblr blogs about the four of us. Some about our feet, some about our just love relationships and fanfics and everything. We've been through all of that.
Well, Charlie, you had tweeted something about like you see people drawing pictures of you with big tits at one point.
Oh.
What was that tweet?
Yeah, there's a cool trend. A decent chunk of like hentai artists, like freelance hentai artists, started to gender bend me as a big-titted, milky-titted woman, and like they'd send me some art, and it was really high-quality stuff. Someone sent it to my P.O. box where it was me holding a coming cock in between my titties. And it was like really like well drawn. Like it was some cool stuff. I still have it.
Now.
You don't like want to encourage things like this. Like I definitely feel like it's not like cool to encourage things like that. But like if I hear about something like that or I see it, I'm gonna laugh at it. I'm sorry. Like I don't want to. I don't think you shouldn't ship. Like don't ship real people. Don't make art of real people. But man, that's pretty cool, man. It's pretty funny, man. I don't know. Maybe my sense of humor is fucked. Like I am, like in my channel and my videos and shit. It's all very lowbrow humor. Like I'm a fan. I'm a proponent of extremely lowbrow humor because it takes the least amount of effort. And I'm a person who hates putting effort into shit. Like I don't know about you guys. You guys put effort into things, or are you like over that at this point in your lives?
I like lowbrow humor. There's always a place for it. I don't like the pretentious. If I turn on a Netflix comedy special, I don't want like super intellectual highbrow clapper. Just give me the dick jokes and fart jokes and dead baby jokes, and it's fine. Make me laugh.
Yeah, I mean
it's
that's where I'm at. Oh, you just reminded me of The Binding of Isaac. It's one of my favorite games to stream.
That has to do with dicks and balls and farts.
Oh, yeah, it actually kind of does.
Where was the connection there?
Oh,
where was the connection?
Do none of you know about this video game?
I know Andrew plays the shit out of it.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with dicks and balls and farts, actually.
Oh, yeah. Well, you play as a small child who's running from his mother who's trying to actively murder him with a knife because, like, some televangelist told her to do it. And you run into the basement, it's filled with piles of feces and stuff. It's absolutely bizarre, but it also happens to be like,
one of the best video games ever made, honestly.
Like, fucking seriously, like, Andrew, it's like a slot machine. Like, you get addicted to that game really badly.
Yeah.
It started as, like, Newgrounds shock humor, and it still is Newgrounds, like, edgy shock humor. It still is, and it's always going to be. But if you like RNG roguelites, I think this is the shit. You never played it, Charlie?
No, I played a little of it like a long time ago when it came out, but I don't think I ever went back. At least not that I can remember.
What happened? Like the dead babies and the poop like turned you off a little bit?
No, I don't think it was that. I think it was just during the time where I was playing like every indie game, so I just kind of got burnt out on them.
Yeah. Well, they just had a massive update, so if you want to return to it, I mean, I can't like I can't suck this game's dick enough. Like I love this. It's probably my favorite game. You should probably like talk about video games at some point since like that's my primary thing here.
It's basically a slot machine, except instead of like 7 different things that can show up and give you combinations, it's got like 7,000 different things.
There's so much to know about that game. You got to take like a 9-week course to fucking play that game though.
Is it like, so you said it's a rogue-like, so that means like permanent death, like each run is different?
Yes, but it has a sense of progression. So if you unlock something in a run,
it carries over.
You could find that item that you unlocked on a future run.
Yeah,
and it has tons of things that carry over between runs.
There's just also so many things to unlock and so many ways to unlock them. Like, there's a lot of typical stuff where it's like, oh, beat this boss 10 times, you get this item. Get to this level, you get this item. But some of the things are like, collect this combination of items and use it on this door. Play this game on this day of the week and unlock this item. Like, there's just
absolutely crazy.
Literally thousands of things to unlock.
I played a game called Enter the Dungeon. I think it was
Gungeon.
Gungeon.
Did you like it?
Oh, Gungeon. I did not. So would I like Binding of Isaac?
It's different.
People say they're
it's
pretty
different. I would
similar.
still try it. There's crossover, but I would still try it because they're not. They have significant differences as well. It is top-down isometric like that.
I loved Isaac. I love Isaac, and I tried Gungeon and also really didn't care for it, Jackson. So you might like Isaac. Isaac's kind of more simple to play. There's less mechanics, but there's more to it. So.
Like it has infinite fucking replay value. Like I have over 2,000 hours in this game between like the Switch version and the Steam version. I'm telling you, I fucking love this game. You could do. So, like, the synergies are the main thing that give it infinite replay value. But what I mean by that is, like, you get 2 items that combine. So, you know, the little kid, he primarily fights by crying on enemies, right? So your tears are your primary form of combat. So you get, like, say, like, psychic tears. Like, there's an item called Spoonbender. I guess it's, like, Matrix or, like, Yuri Geller reference or whatever. It makes your tears home onto enemies, so you have homing tears. And then you get something like... tears that, I don't know, explode. So now you've got tears that are homing and explode when they hit enemies, and that works for across hundreds and hundreds of items. So I could play this game right now after playing it for 2,000 hours and see an item combination that I've never seen before in my life. It happens every time I play it.
Part of the fun of Isaac is like your first runs are just trying to beat the game. And then after you get really consistent at that, the fun is trying to break the game as fast as you can. Going, oh, if I combine this with this, then the run is probably over. I can, like there's an item called Brimstone, which is universally considered like one of the best, and it turns your attack into like a big laser. So then you can later find items where it's like, oh, whatever tiers you have will spread in every direction. So if you put that with Brimstone, you have a giant laser that covers the entire map. And it's like, people will speedrun this game, and the whole point is how fast can you break it. It's just a ton of fun. It really is.
Yeah, I gotta recommend that game for sure. Charlie, the last time I saw you...
It doesn't sound very realistic.
It's not.
The tears of children didn't hurt Jeffrey Epstein, you know. And speaking of, sorry to ham-fist this so hard, but
speaking of Jeffrey Epstein, oh man, what?
I cannot end this episode without
like that.
I found out, or we all found out, that Andrew didn't know that Bill Gates is divorcing.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
This stupid
That's
idiot.
a different rich guy.
Yeah. Who would like to tell him the
was he went
spicy
to
news?
the island. The connection was that Epstein or Bill Gates went to his island at one point. Or was that rumor?
Connection
was that
is that
apparently.
apparently Bill Gates. So Bill and Melinda are divorcing, for those who don't know, and she apparently has said that he's had a past of lecherous behavior, hitting on women at the workplace
Wandering
and such,
penis.
asking them out for dates, and
Wandering penis.
yeah, pretty much just swinging his richest man dick around until he was dethroned by Jeff Bezos.
As if like all of those rich people don't have that same
It's
lifestyle.
contagious amongst the rich. Everyone's got wandering
Bill
dick
was
syndrome.
supposed to be different.
WPS.
Oh, Bill,
I don't
he
believe
did
for a
Reddit
second that.
AMAs.
I'm sure
Wandering
Melinda
penis
also
syndrome.
swung her tits around the fucking, offices. No doubt. But
Just spraying those fucking willy-nilly all over the place.
So, like, MSN.com, which is apparently still a thing, I don't know why, says exclusive Melinda Gates' divorce settlement could be dependent on her silence about Bill Gates' and Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, yeah.
Were they a couple?
Bill
Yeah,
and
she
Melinda
doesn't want to
Gates.
spill the affair details between Jeff and Bill.
They were apparently pretty
Sounded
close.
like- Yeah, from what
Would
I've
you?
read,
How
only
close,
a little
though?
bit.
Would you so carelessly
He
swing around allegations about Epstein? I don't want to fucking die by suspicious circumstances and have it ruled as suicide.
Bill and Jeffrey were the couple. Yeah. He gave him the key to his gate. Dude,
Do you guys know the?
the news of him getting divorced was pretty hard to miss, though. I mean, it was everywhere.
It was hard to stomach as well.
I took
Andrew
like,
goes out of his way to not get any new information sometimes.
That's true.
the bliss of
Contrarian.
sweet ignorance. I admire
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's. Cool.
I don't know, man. I don't. There will go entire days where I just don't check the outside world. Like I wake up and go, all right, I'm gonna work
God
on this
bless
video.
you.
Now I feel like watching this thing. Oh, it's time to practice guitar. Oh, I'll stream. And just at no point throughout the day do I go, oh, I should stop and check what the world is doing. It just doesn't
It's
happen.
not your business. It's not your business. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, if like a meteorite's headed to Florida or whatever, then you know, then maybe worry about it, right? But
Yeah.
I have avoided getting a Windows update for like fucking a month, maybe like 2 months. I had to, because we were talking about this prior to we started recording, because we were like complaining about Windows updates. Because every time I do one, it just ass fucks my entire audio settings, and then I know that I'm gonna have to spend hours the next day troubleshooting that shit, right? So for 2 months, I avoided getting one, right? And then I saw the news that he was getting divorced, and I was like, "Did I do this? Am I the reason? Am I the reason?
I hope
like,
so.
Is she leaving him because I wouldn't get the Windows update? Like they were like, "Do you want to reschedule it? Do you want to reschedule it?" And I was like, "Please, no, God, no, please, anything but this. Please, no Windows update." And then it was like, listen, maybe he needs those Windows updates. Maybe he needs them to kind of stay a billionaire. Maybe that they make him money somehow. He hasn't had anything to do with that company in years, right? Like he just
Yeah,
does the
he's-
philanthropy.
still makes
I was gonna say
He just inserts
before the comments
microchips
will
into
jump
people
on
now.
you and go, well, actually, I'm glad you caught yourself there.
Bill Gates doesn't work for the. No, now he just puts microchips
Because you know
inside
that was
people's
coming.
bloodstream. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't.
This motherfucker! I'm reading all the shit he did. Bill Gates took yearly beach vacations with his ex throughout his marriage to Melinda
Yes.
Gates.
I was gonna
That
bring
is-
that up.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Kind of
hold
a
on, hold
cock
on.
move.
Who?
You're
Who
only
lets their
scratching the
spouse do
surface.
that?
You, Kai,
So,
you
okay,
were only
I'll-
scratching the surface. He also,
okay,
This is a
after every,
sensory overload.
after
I can't
every
hear.
single movie that he would watch with his wife, he would call his ex to talk about it before talking to his wife about
Was
the
she
movie.
was she a cock? What the fuck is going on here?
I have no idea. But
So,
yeah, it was wild.
I'll read a list here. He vacationed with ex Anne Winblad every year. He had a number of meetings with convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein that Melinda wasn't so fond of. He had at least one confirmed affair with a Microsoft employee and allegedly may have asked out or dated others per a recent New York Times report. This man was all over the place, just
Yeah, how does
spreading
that
his
stay
dick.
under the wraps? If he's asking random people out, how does that stay under wraps? Surely one of them would have spilled the beans.
Well, I guess
When
it
you're-
finally did.
When you're like a nerd, right, who never gets attention
Right, in
from
this
women,
in this
like your
hypothetical
entire
scenario,
fucking
yeah.
life. Not that I would know anything about this. Not that any of you would know anything about this. But I imagine if you're a nerd who spends, you know, like a majority of their early adulthood, maybe, I don't know, not really getting attention from women very often because, you know, you're locked in a garage working on Windows, making it yourself and doing all these things by yourself because the computers are their future, right? And they're practicing with the blade or whatever the fuck. And then you end up getting, you know, an outrageous amount of money to the point where you can, like, buy countries and women are suddenly, like, throwing themselves at you. Like, do you like, just start taking advantage of that? Or do you just,
Yeah, of course you
like,
do, but
actually stay faithful to your wife?
no, of course you. Yeah, I don't like. There's nothing mysterious about why he's doing this, but at no point do you not get over this. This man has been richer for longer than he's been rich for longer than he's been poor.
You get
Actually,
tired
I mean, he's
of
never
like
been
being able
poor,
to have
but-
sex with anybody you want whenever you want, and you're like, okay, time for some stability or whatever. I'm
mean, I
playing
guess
devil's
what- I
advocate, by
just
the way.
like-
Let me just say, I'm playing devil's advocate. I would not cheat on somebody. I never have
know.
cheated on anybody. Blah blah blah. This is just devil's advocate purely.
Never been on an island with Jeffrey Epstein.
Never been, you know, man. I was playing Wind Waker the other night, and there's a part in the game where you go rescue Tingle from the fucking. Tingle is in prison, right? And you let Tingle out of prison, and he goes, "Cool, Limpa, little boy, come with me to my private island." And then I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, I can't make Epstein jokes in my Twitch channel because that's fucked up. That's not okay to make Epstein jokes. I felt like, you ever see Who Framed Roger Rabbit? When the bad guy walks in and he's like, on the fucking wall, like he's shaving a haircut on the wall, and Roger Rabbit is like, he's like hiding so he's not trying to break through the wall and scream 2 bits or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Seen
None
the
of you
movie,
seen
and I
it.
don't think that exists.
Yeah.
You know,
At all.
you don't think, did I like imagine the scene?
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
All right.
You're like 4 references in at this point. You were
Yeah.
talking about a Nintendo
it's
game,
like
I think, and
Inception.
then you went to
I have
Roger
You
ADHD.
really
Rabbit.
are
I
on
have
some sort of
severe
downward spiral. Maybe someone could do
Severe ADHD, yeah. But no,
Yeah.
that scene happened. For the record, that scene happened. That's not Mandela effect. Hey, speaking
He's
of
like
the
Alex
Mandela
Jones.
effect, just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna-
Well, speaking
I'm
of
not gonna do that
incognito
again.
browsing, let's talk about ExpressVPN.
Ooh.
Yeah. Have you ever
Exciting.
browsed in incognito mode? Because it's probably not as incognito as you think. Google roads. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, VPN official or whatever the fuck he just said, because I was zoning out. Thank you. It's important to-
ExpressVPN.com/official. Yes, I think
It's important to protect your PNs.
What I read recently is that now some bank, I think, floated the idea of using people's browser history. That they were gonna buy like their traffic history from the ISPs and give loans based on their history, on people's histories. It's like this shit is coming, guys. Charlie, you're a hypochondriac like me. Anytime you sneeze, you go on the internet, right? You go on fucking WebMD and look up all the reasons
Yeah,
why why you have cancer. One day you're gonna get a call from your health insurance company like, Mr. White, we've looked at your browser history, and you know, healthy people don't look up cancer symptoms. We're gonna have to jack up your fucking premiums here. But use a VPN, people. Don't give them your info.
The hypochondriac premium. I suffered from that as
Dickheads.
well. I had some blood work done last week, and they called me, and they left a voicemail, and they said, "Call us back at your earliest convenience, please," and then hung up. And I was like, okay. So I called back, and they weren't at the office, and I'm like, all right, well.
Closed down.
If there was nothing wrong with the blood, then they would have just said that in the voicemail, right? So obviously I have cancer. Obviously I'm dead. Obviously I have cancer and AIDS, and they diffused into cancer AIDS. I have a new disease that they invented just for me. All right, and that's the reason why they didn't say that in the
They
voicemail.
killed their entire office.
And
Yeah,
I
shut
spread it.
down
I
you.
spread it to everybody. I'm patient fucking zero. I'm like the outbreak monkey. Okay, and now because they're not answering the phone, that's it. My life's over. I had to wait like 2 days before they were back in the office. I called them back, and there was nothing wrong with the blood work. I was on stream freaking out about this, and everybody in chat was like, "Oh my God, you're fine. Oh my God, stop it. Stop. Shut up. You're fine." And then I had to go live and be like, "Yeah, you were all right. I'm sorry."
You were kind of hoping
that's
you had
gotta
cancer
suck.
aid or whatever you called it.
Just so
Cancer
I
aid.
wouldn't have to admit that they were right. Yeah. But no, it all turned out okay, thankfully. For now. Knock, knock, shaving a haircut. 2 bits. Which happened in that movie. I want
Whoa,
you to
what a
know that.
callback. Yeah.
It
Must have
did.
sucked to be the first guy with like COVID, a brand new disease, and you're telling your doctor, like, "Doctor, this feels like nothing else before," and they're like, "Yeah, you lunatic. You're imagining
You
things. What the fuck are
goddamn
you talking
idiot."
about?"
Fine.
Go
Get
home,
outta
it's
here,
the
you
flu, you
sick
motherfucker.
bastard.
And then he dies. I remember still that poor fucking doctor who like blew the whistle on the COVID shit, and China like
Yeah,
made him
and jumped out a
disappear.
window.
Yeah,
Jumped out a
fuck.
window.
Well, that's what they said. Like I think he jumped out a window.
Oh,
But
yeah, like
the theory is
open
that-
quote jumped out a window end quote.
yeah, he
yeah.
defenestrated himself. Okay,
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
China's words, not mine.
they think it came from a lab now. Like they're thinking it.
Oh, I love that. If you still believe anything that the media tells you after this shit, like they've lied time after time after time, but this is like the biggest one yet. For 1 year, the whole year, if you so much as floated the idea that it's kind of suspicious that the virus
Yeah.
came from the same little town
You're
where
a
they have a
conspiracy theorist.
lab that was experimenting on this shit, you would get like dehumanized as a conspiracy theorist, lunatic, fucking subhuman, idiot piece of shit, Alex Jones, mega
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
And every fucking news media outlet echoed that. You would have your YouTube channel and your Facebook and your Twitter shut the fuck down
Yeah.
if you so much as questioned this fucking thing. And now they're like, oh yeah, actually our fact checks were all wrong. This might actually
Yeah. That's been. It makes me so fucking mad too because all those QAnon people are like, "We fucking told you the whole time. Alex Jones is number wrong. Let's go." I hate it.
Yeah,
They get
it's not
one
nice.
fucking
It's not
this is
cool
how you
seeing
make them look right.
vindicated.
Because it is. I mean, they are right in the sense that the fucking mainstream and the system is so fucking biased in favor of the just authority. Like fucking Fauci, the biggest liar, for some reason, when like people say, this motherfucker has lied. He openly admits that he lied. He openly admitted that he lied like 13 fucking times. And now again with this, he admits that he lied. Why does he not get a bad boy sticker on his Twitter? You guys
Alright,
know
Del-
those bad boy stickers where it's like, this is debunked information
Right,
about
yeah,
COVID.
the bad
This is
boy sticker.
misinformation. They slap that
funny
under
is-
every
Devil-
fucking tweet.
Devil-
That's so much.
Devil's advocate for a second. Though.
Oh,
here's
right,
my
right,
question.
right.
Here's my honest question about a lot of the like Fauci specifically, or Fauci, however the fuck you say it. Now, how much of what he
Dr.
said
Falcon.
and then recanted or whatever, or changed his stance on things? How much of it was like he's just lying or making shit up, and how much of it was the fact that this was a new disease that nobody had seen before? So as the data came in and the data changed, he
No, a lot of it
changed
was
his
lies.
positions on things.
Well, I'm going
I know
to
what you mean,
recuse
but a lot of
myself
it
from
was
this
lies
trial.
because
I know
No.
nothing about this.
okay, that's fine. I do. He openly said that he lied. Like there's instances
He
where he
did?
said that, oh yeah, we misrepresented the numbers because we wanted people to act a certain way. So we told them like that things are worse than they are
So
in order
okay.
to make people wear masks.
Like
so he
the
is a
idea
fucking
to,
liar. He's a
like actually put fear into people to get them to compliance.
yes.
Right.
Like they knew about the lab thing. Apparently last year they wanted to investigate the lab leak theory, but they shut it down
Australia
because
did.
Trump said it. Because apparently, like, if Orange Man floats an idea, it must automatically be wrong, so we have to shut it down. Why?
I thought it was
Even a broken
Australia
clock
who
can be
wanted to
right.
start the commission to investigate the Wuhan lab.
They still do, by the way. We're still trying.
All right, you're in
Try.
Australia, right, Jackson?
Yeah, I'm Australian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
they're still trying. They're still trying to get that commission going. I
Um,
think we're like the only government in the world currently, like, actually taking the fight to China. Like,
Could
actually
you-
sticking
Do you
up
think
to
it
them.
should happen? Are you in support of that commission happening?
Oh hell yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's no downside to a commission happening like that. Like,
okay, so-
it needs to be investigated.
So to further that line of thought, what happens if they go in there and they find out that it did leak from a lab, like for hypothetically?
They
What is
tried.
the- what
They
are the
tried. The
consequences?
WHO said, "Hey, may we investigate, pretty please, if this came from a lab or what happens? Like, what
Right.
can we investigate the origins?" And China said, "Yeah, but in 2 months
They
from now."
did. China let them in. They did let them in.
Months later, can you imagine if like the cops show up to a crime scene, like to a 911 call, and a guy with holding a bloody knife opens a door? He's like, "Of course you can
Come back
search
in
the
3
place,
months."
but can you come back tomorrow?
Right.
I promise not to clean up the crime scene. Pretty promise. Pinky promise.
China's
What the
like
fuck?
China's flushing all the COVID samples down the toilet like it's fucking heroin. Like,
Literally. Those motherfuckers. It's
Can
insane
you
to me.
imagine
Those
that?
people, they just murdered 3.5 million people across the globe. Like
fucking
it's
hell.
like war numbers, and no one cares.
I think a lot of people are just somehow bizarrely desensitized, right?
of course,
it's,
we're
it's very
desensitized.
it's
The
very
media,
strange.
Like,
Yeah.
like Kaya said, the media backflips on everything every 3 months. Everything is so over dramatized or hidden. It's just you can't trust anything.
Yeah.
People
They lie.
obviously
They actively
desensitized.
lie, man. This fucking shit. My new most hated phrase is "believe the science." It's like, you talk to someone, you go, "Oh, science is nice, right? Yeah, science is like it's mostly objective. It's fucking great. Oh yeah, I believe science. You should believe science." Oh, you said that phrase. I see. You don't actually believe science. You're just a fucking bootlicker, aren't you? You believe
It's like
authority, not science.
Neil deGrasse Tyson on Twitter. Did you see when he got burned by the Steakums account?
The
I
Steakums
did see that actually, yeah.
I did
Dude,
see that.
Steakums
Oh,
on
yeah, I
Twitter.
did see
I don't
that,
know
yeah.
why.
It was amazing.
Steakums
Like-
on Twitter just fucking goes around burning people. Yeah, let me see
Like
if I can find those
I
tweets.
hate
Yeah, you
corporate
tell us about
fucking
it, Mike.
brand accounts, but
Yeah,
like
they're the
what, that
worst.
time I had to stand up and applaud. I was like, okay,
Well,
Steakums, you win this
Yeah,
round.
Steakums went in on him for a minute. I did see that.
I didn't see
That
that
was
at
good
all.
shit. That's good shit. They
Kai's
told him
pulling
to.
it up, I think.
They told him to touch the grass, Tyson. You know, touch grass.
So,
They were like,
Neil
"Oh,
deGrasse
They told him
Tyson.
to, well, they told him to log off.
Pourquoi es-tu là?
They were like,
Yeah,
log off, bro. He was like, believe the science, and they were like, log off, bro. You don't know
Exactly.
what
So
fucking. Because he was
Neil
like on
said
the
the
I
good
love
thing-
science bandwagon. Oh, you got the tweets?
Yeah, I got them. Neil said the good thing about science is that it's true, whether or not you believe in it. So the fedora tipping atheist take on the thing. Steakums said, log off, bro. And then Steakums follows up with, the irony of Neil's tweet is that by framing science itself as true, he's influencing people to be more skeptical of it and in a time of unprecedented misinformation. Science is an ever-refining process to find truth, not a dogma. No matter his intent, this message isn't helpful. This is a fast food company.
Yeah. Well, they make freezer aisle like cheesesteaks, like shitty
Yeah.
frozen cheesesteaks. But I
my
mean, yeah,
God.
you that's the last place you would expect something like that to come from. And they also go into how they want you to know that everything that they do on that account ties into the fact that they're a brand who's trying to sell things. Like it's very bizarre. Like if you dig into that account, you're gonna see it's weird. Like they're aware of what they're doing, and they want everybody who follows them and sees their tweets to be aware of what they're doing, and they don't want you to become confused about the fact that they're anything but a brand account. It's like, you ever see The Invention of Lying, Ricky Gervais's movie?
Yeah, that's actually a
Yeah,
fun movie.
yeah.
Remember when they had the commercial with the Coke can? He was like, look, we got the Coca-Cola can with the cute little bear on it. Just drink the soda. You know, just drink it. It's good, whatever. It's got a lot of sugar in it, but, you know, just drink it. That's what the Steakums brand account is. It's honestly, it's a little bit refreshing. I still have to hate them by virtue that they're a corporate brand account, but it is a little bit refreshing. Like I'd like to see more brands move in that direction in the future. you
Weren't
know?
they the ones that created this whole trend though? But like they were one of the first.
Yeah, I think so.
I doubt it.
No,
I don't know.
Wendy's was definitely one of the first.
Well, Wendy's was just fucking sassy. By the way, I despise Wendy's because I used to work for them. I'm sorry if you like their food, but fuck them eternally. Oh, are they a sponsor? Andrew's about to be like, this message brought to you by Wendy's. This podcast brought to
as-
you by
as
Wendy's.
funny
Well,
as
never
you
afford
mentioned
that.
More
that.
Wendy's.
As
If
funny
you-
as it
the
is
whole
that you
ad-rated
mentioned
fuck
that,
you, jabroni Mike.
I do happen to have a big premium sponsor, and they might know a thing or two about fresh grilled hamburgers. That's right.
Take it away.
Kraken,
Wendy?
for the last 10 years, has been one of the best platforms for trading cryptocurrency online. And now with the new Kraken app, it's easier than ever to buy and sell over 60 of the most popular cryptocurrencies on the go. Simply download the Kraken app, connect to your bank, and start investing for as little as $10. Few taps is all it takes to get started. With the new Kraken app, you'll have your portfolio in your pocket wherever you go. Monitor your investments, track winners and losers, and keep tabs on your favorite projects or the most traded cryptos of the day. It's got all the features you need with none of the complexity. It's also a trader that I personally have been using for a very long time now. I just put more money into it to invest a couple days ago. I love Kraken. Visit kraken.com/official now to learn more or search for Kraken in the App Store. That's kraken.com/official.
Andrew, that aggressively had nothing to do with hamburgers.
Are you sure you didn't
that-
listen very well?
Yeah,
Like
you must not have been paying attention.
Yeah.
Like maybe you can buy burgers with your gains. Like that.
See,
maybe
now
that's-
you're thinking like an American. Jesus, I can't believe we had to spell it out for you.
So, how'd you guys do on the Dogecoin? How'd you do on it? You did good?
I sold that at the all-time high. Like the day it hit 70 cents
You know,
or whatever, I fucking
saw
sold
you-
it and I was done.
I saw you on Twitter, and you were like, I bought Doge on the day it was supposed to get bumped, but it just keeps dipping. Like I saw you tweet that, and then I think I bought it around 8 cents,
Oh,
and then
damn.
Ooh.
yeah, and then I saw the all-time high, right? And then I looked at it, and I was like, should I sell this? And I said, nope, and held
what?
it.
Your mic
Yeah, I
cut
was
out
like-
a little bit. What happened there?
I just made a loud idiot sound because I
okay.
didn't sell it. I went because I didn't sell it. I was like, no, look, guys, look on Twitter. They said that Dogecoin's going to $1, so I shouldn't sell it here at what was it, 73 cents, Charlie?
it was something
Yeah.
like that. It
Yeah.
was a
Yeah,
fatty.
I was-
it was a
I was like,
fatty.
Yeah.
no, I'm
And
not
then-
going to sell
and
it
then-
at 73 cents. It's going to $1. Yeah.
And
then I
then
watched
Mike,
it. Yeah, well, you all know
my
what happened.
friends, Elon went on SNL and sunk everybody's dreams.
Yep.
Apparently to the
that's the-
point that
So
there
I'm
was
not
a
happy with
girlfriend
him.
panic
I'm not-
attack after the show.
It was gonna go down anyway.
If I saw Elon Musk like on top of a roof, I would push him off like a Chinese scientist that I was trying to silence right now. I would just be
I
like,
completely understand that. For the health of crypto, like I believe in crypto as a technology, right?
yeah.
For the health of it, Elon Musk must be sacrificed, you guys. He must be sacrificed like in the ancient times, like you'd sacrifice a goat to the harvest. Because that man is like
It's
90%
a gimmick at the moment.
responsible for turning crypto into a fucking joke and also its volatility.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
motherfucker
yeah,
gets into
yeah.
Twitter
He actually
slap
heard it.
fights.
He actually heard it more than anything, right?
Yeah, well, volatility isn't
sacrifice.
healthy. It's not a
No.
long term healthy thing.